7 o'clock, Sunday night. The Prodigy Experience Expanded. Tonight, the verse. John 15:13. Greater love has no one than this, that someone laid down his life for his friends. Context. This verse is part of Jesus' discourse with his disciples during the Last Supper. He is discussing the importance of abiding in him and bearing fruit. Breakdown. Greater love. Jesus asserts that there is no higher expression of love than laying down one's life for one's friends. Laying down one's life. This refers to the selfless act of sacrifice, even to the point of death. Friends. This refers to those who are close to us and whom we care about deeply. Practical applications. Love selflessly. Be willing to put the needs and well-being of others before your own. Sacrifice for others. Be prepared to make sacrifices, even difficult ones, for the sake of your loved ones. Serve your community. Look for opportunities to serve your community and make a positive difference in the lives of others. Forgive freely. Forgive those who have wronged you, even if it requires great sacrifice. Love your enemies. Extend love and compassion to those who oppose you or persecute you. Key takeaways. The ultimate expression of love is self-sacrifice. We should be willing to lay down our lives for those we love. Love involves putting the needs of others before our own. Additional thoughts. Jesus' sacrifice on the cross is the ultimate example of this kind of love. By following Jesus' example, we can demonstrate true love in our own lives. All civilizations require sacrifice. It's just the nature of civilization. Across the epochs of time, generally we've lived under kings. And in living under kings, the king would decide who and why a person would sacrifice. Sometimes justly and wisely, sometimes not so much. It's one of the greatest differences between communism and capitalism. I don't mean the bastardization. Like all isms, we haven't really figured out how to deal with assholes. But in Western civilization, sacrifice is necessary. But ideally, you make the choice. The sacrifice is voluntary. Under kings, under communism, someone else decides for you what your sacrifice will be. From the book of the brother, Integrity and Ethical Leadership. Integrity and ethical leadership are central to the long-term success of individuals, teams, and organizations. In a world filled with challenges, temptations, and competing interests, the importance of maintaining strong moral compass cannot be overstated. Leaders who operate with integrity and uphold ethical standards not only inspire trust and respect, but they also cultivate environments where others can thrive and grow. Defining integrity and ethical leadership. At its core, integrity means adhering to moral and ethical principles, even when no one is watching. It's about consistency between one's values, actions, and words. Ethical leadership is the practice of leading others in a way that is fair, just, and respectful of the dignity and rights of all people. Ethical leaders prioritize the well-being of those they lead, even when faced with a difficult or unpopular decision. Key components of integrity: honesty, telling the truth, even when it's difficult, and being transparent in all dealings. Accountability, taking responsibility for your actions and decisions, and holding yourself accountable to the standards you set. Consistency, demonstrating the same values and principles across all aspects of life, regardless of the situation or audience. Key elements of ethical leadership: fairness, making decisions based on fairness without favoritism or prejudice, and ensuring that all people are treated with equal respect and consideration. Respect, honoring the dignity and rights of others, and fostering a sense of inclusion, safety, and value in all interactions. Courage, standing firm in your values and making the right choices, even when there are pressures to do otherwise. The importance of integrity in leadership. Integrity forms the bedrock of all successful leadership. Without it, leaders may gain short-term success, but ultimately lose trust, respect, and loyalty. Critical components of long-term effectiveness. Leaders who lack integrity create environments where dishonesty, fear, and mistrust prevail. On the other hand, leaders who exhibit integrity earn the trust and admiration of their teams, inspiring them to perform at their best. Why integrity matters in leadership. It builds trust. Trust is essential for any healthy relationship, and it is especially crucial in leadership. Leaders who are known for their integrity earn trust from their followers, which fosters cooperation, loyalty, and mutual respect. It encourages ethical behavior in others. When leaders model integrity, they set a powerful example for others to follow. Ethical leaders inspire their teams to act with integrity, creating a culture where honesty, responsibility, and fairness are valued. It promotes accountability. Leaders who prioritize integrity hold themselves accountable and encourage their teams to do the same. This leads to better decision-making and improved outcomes across the board. It maintains long-term success. While unethical behavior may provide short-term gains, it inevitably leads to negative consequences, including damaged reputations, legal troubles, and financial loss. Leaders with integrity are able to maintain sustainable success through trust and positive relationships. Ethical decision-making in leadership. One of the most challenging aspects of ethical leadership is making difficult decisions that are aligned with your values and principles. Often, leaders face situations where they must balance competing interests, and the right decision isn't always clear. In these moments, ethical leaders rely on a set of guiding principles to ensure that they make the best choices, both for their teams and for themselves. The process of ethical decision-making. Identify the ethical dilemma. Recognize when a decision involves ethical considerations such as fairness, honesty, or the well-being of others. Gather information. Understand the full context of the situation, including the impact of your decision on all parties involved. Consider both short-term and long-term consequences. Evaluate the options. Think about the potential outcomes of each decision. Which option best aligns with your values and ethical principles? Does any option compromise your integrity or the well-being of others? Make the decision. Once you've evaluated the options, make the choice that aligns with your ethical standards, even if it's difficult. Reflect and learn. After the decision is made, reflect on the outcomes and what you can learn from the process. Ethical leadership involves continuous growth and learning from each decision. Tools for ethical decision making. The Golden Rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Consider how your decisions would impact others and whether you would be comfortable with the same treatment in return. The 3-question test. When making a decision, ask yourself, is it legal? Is it fair to everyone involved? How would I feel if the decision was made public? Ethical leadership in action. Leading with integrity. Being an ethical leader means more than just making good decisions. It's about consistently living out your values in all aspects of your life. Ethical leadership requires vulnerability, humility, and a commitment to growth. It's about leading by example and empowering others to do the same. Principles of leading with integrity. Principles of leading with integrity. Lead by example. Ethical leaders set the tone by demonstrating the behavior they expect from others. This means being honest, transparent, and respectful at all times. Maintain transparency. Be open about your decisions, thought process, and mistakes. Transparency builds trusts and ensures that others understand the reasoning behind your choices. Encourage open dialogue. Ethical leaders foster an environment where team members feel safe to speak up, ask questions, and voice concerns. This promotes accountability and encourages diverse perspectives. Uphold your commitments. Do what you say you will do. Your word should be your bond, and breaking promises undermines trust and respect. Empower others. Ethical leaders not only guide others, but also empower them to lead with integrity. By giving others the tools and opportunities to grow, you create a ripple effect of ethical behavior throughout the organization. Overcoming challenges to ethical leadership. Even the most ethical leaders will encounter challenges and temptations. The pressures of power, success, and competition can sometimes make it difficult to maintain integrity. However, ethical leaders remain steadfast in their commitment to doing what is right, regardless of the obstacles they face. Common challenges. Short-term gains versus long-term values. The temptation to prioritize immediate success at the expense of ethical principles can be strong. Ethical leaders understand that true success is built over time, and shortcuts only lead to long-term damage. Pressure from others. Leaders often face pressure from colleagues, superiors, or stakeholders to compromise their values. Ethical leaders stand firm, even when faced with opposition, and resist the temptation to conform to unethical practices. Personal biases. All leaders have their own biases, which can cloud their judgment. Recognizing and addressing these biases is an important step to making ethical decisions. How to overcome challenges. Practice self-reflection. Regularly reflect on your values, decisions, and actions. This helps you stay grounded and ensures you remain aligned with your ethical principles. Seek mentorship. Surround yourself with mentors and advisors who hold you accountable and offer guidance when faced with difficult decisions. Create a supportive environment. Cultivate a culture where ethical behavior is valued and rewarded. When others around you also prioritize integrity, it becomes easier to maintain your own commitment to doing what is right. The long-term impact of ethical leadership. The long-term impact of ethical leadership is profound. Leaders who act with integrity and uphold ethical standards create lasting legacies. They foster environments where others can thrive. Relationships are built on trust, and individuals are empowered to do their best. The benefits of ethical leadership: increased trust and loyalty. Ethical leaders are trusted by their teams, which leads to stronger relationships and long-term loyalty. Trust also enhances collaboration and effectiveness. Sustainable success. Ethical leadership leads to long-term success, as decisions are based on fairness, honesty, and responsibility to create a foundation for growth and innovation. A positive reputation. Ethical leaders gain respect from others, both inside and outside their organizations. Their reputation for integrity enhances their credibility and influence. Integrity and ethical leadership are the foundation of successful and fulfilling life, both professionally and personally. Leaders who maintain a commitment to their ethical principles inspire trust, foster collaboration, and create environments where individuals and teams can thrive. The power of ethical leadership lies in its ability to build long-term success, sustain positive relationships, and leave lasting legacy of respect and integrity. To lead with integrity, one must be consistent in aligning actions with values. Make decisions that honor both personal and collective well-being, and stand firm in the face of challenges. By cultivating these practices, any man can become a leader who others admire, respect, and are willing to follow. I have been leading men since the mid-90s. Leading with integrity is the most powerful thing you can do as a leader. Knowing your values, modeling your values, being consistent are incredibly powerful. If you do this, you will earn the trust and respect of those you work with. Remember and honor that you are serving them. You will face pressure for short-term gains over your integrity. At some point, for most of you at many points, you will be forced to choose between your integrity and short-term gains. I have chosen my integrity. I have no problem sleeping at night. I have lost jobs because of it. Every decision carries consequences, some more grievous than others. I would encourage you to set your values and principles first. Understand who you are, so when the hard decisions come, you have a compass by which to navigate. You're not only guiding these folks that you're entrusted with, you're also showing them how it's done. A good leader not only leads and serves, he makes other leaders. Make them brave. For those of you that wish to lead, understand what it is that you are doing before you take on that mantle. For those of you that are leading, in your homes, in communities, in your vocations, be strong. Live your values. you will make the lives of those around you better. Hope everybody had a great week. Hope you have a great week to come. God loves you. Jesus loves you. I love you. Love yourself. Love others.